This Monday, we're marking World Environment Day with a focus on plastic pollution. Now, on Friday, global negotiators agreed to craft an initial draft treaty to end plastic pollution, a preliminary but crucial step towards tackling one of the most lasting sources of human waste. Environmental activists cautiously welcoming the outcome of 5 days of talks here in Paris, but they also expressed concern that the petroleum industry and some governments will attempt to water down the eventual treaty. A reminder, of course, that most plastic is made from fossil fuels. Joining me from Montreal in Canada is Emily Penn, a skipper and an advocate for the world's oceans. Thank you so much for your time, Emily. As someone who spends a lot of time in water, can you just explain to us how bad is it when it comes to plastic pollution in our seas?
I think the thing is, plastic pollution has just made it to every corner of the planet. We sail across remote oceans, travel to the Arctic, to the tropics, and we find it everywhere, mostly in microscopic pieces, what we call microplastics. It's sunk to the seabed and it's even got inside our bodies. And so literally, I don't think it could get too much worse.
In terms of this draft treaty, how confident are you about it?
There's a long way to go. I think we've needed this progress and this step in the right direction for a while. Plastic pollution is something that we have known about now for decades. And so it's great that it's finally on the international agenda, that nations are coming together, that we're having the conversations. But it needs to happen faster. And we really need high ambition from all nations to kind of see this through in the way it needs to happen.
Well, there's been a lot of emphasis on recycling and perhaps not as much on production, hasn't there? I mean, that's a big problem.
It is, yeah. We really need to decrease global production of plastic. Of course, recycling is a good sort of short-term step for the plastic that we have already created, but it's ultimately not going to solve the problem. At the moment, the way we tend to recycle is that we take something like a plastic bottle and we make something like a carpet or a drain pipe that then eventually gives up and ends up in landfill as well. We're not doing this sort of circular closed loop economy, which is what we actually need to move towards, so that we can then reduce the amount of plastic that we're producing in the first place.
Could you give us an example of what you're talking about when you refer to a circular closed economy?
Yes, so we're basically a plastic bottle, probably the simplest example, and would be the idea that it could remain a plastic bottle forever. It could go round and round in a closed loop. And so it would be designed in a way that could happen. And there would also be systems in place in our society that would allow that to happen efficiently and easily. And you can expand that then to all sorts of other products, even like a washing machine, designed to be repaired, maintained, and keep going forever without the need for it to end up in landfill.
Given what we've been talking about, in your opinion, Emily, what should be our first priority in cleaning up our oceans?
It depends really on which sector you're from. I'd say a first priority for businesses is to really think about redesigning products so that you're avoiding plastic consumption in the first place. And if plastic has to be used, then it's designed to come back and be recovered into the system. If you're a government, then it's about incentivizing businesses to be able to do that and helping consumers to be able to close that loop and bring products back once they've finished with them. And as a consumer, it's about making choices, deciding which products that you want to buy, what you want to use, and making sure that your environmental footprint is as light as possible.
I hate to say this or ask you this, but do you think we've passed the point of no return when it comes to plastic pollution, Emily?
I don't think we have. I think maybe I still have to be optimistic because what else can we do? But, I see these oceans full of plastic, but at the same time, there's so many reasons to be hopeful because we see the ocean's incredible ability to recover and to bounce back. But the key is that we have to take the pressure off. We have to stop more pollution going into our sea so that it has a chance to recover. And so that's our responsibility now, here on land, on our doorsteps, which is where the problem begins.
Emily Penn, thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you.